Evening folks, welcome to another Irish Whiskey Review with me, Marty McCauley. Tonight, I just noticed on camera that there's a little glass of water sitting there. Tonight, we are going to review Copeland Merchant's Quay Blended Irish Whiskey at 40%. Grain, right, hang on, because this is quite complicated. Because it's grain whiskey matured in right. Okay, so blended Irish whiskey, natural colour, non-chill filtered, 40%. Grain whiskey in virgin oak to re-char bourbon. Double distilled malt, American bourbon barrel. Triple distilled malt, Oloroso sherry butt. Our unique blend, now it's from the Copeland Distillery, and it's down in Dundalk. Now Dundalk has been a town of seafarers and traders for centuries. Quite true, absolutely. Voyaging Vikings gave our three historic Copeland islands the name. I'm not going to embarrass myself and try and pronounce that. Yeah, no, I'll not bother. It means merchant islands and used them as trading posts. The first harbour was built in 1626. The town prospered and the harbour was rebuilt and extended in 1821, with the famous lighthouse added in 1836. Our distillery is beside this historic merchant's quay where ships have been launched, casks have been landed, and glasses have been raised for generations. Excellent stuff. I like Dundalk. My uncle Stuart lived there for many years, and my aunt Lily still lives there. I must take a run down and see her when the whole COVID thing is over. Now, wax sealed. Now this is intended to keep the whiskey in the bottle. No little angel shares coming out. The problem with this one was there's no tear off. And I still can't get it off. So, extreme measures. So we're going to cut round. Bear with me, folks. This must be like what the Queen does when she's going around opening stuff up. Yay! Me micro. Yeah. We like that. That wax stuff's pretty good when it's things you're going to keep for a long time. But they could have saved themselves a little bit of time and not bother dipping that one. So quite a complex blend. And put it back on. That way we can get back into it again. Put on my wee safety snaps. Now, the Copeland Islands, by the way, this is quite interesting. So bear with me, you're going to learn something here. The Copeland Islands are a little set of islands just off the coast of Dundalk in County Down. A lot of people don't know this, but the author, Jonathan Swift, actually lived down that part of the way. He was a rector at Kilroot. He was basically the minister, the priest, vicar, whatever way you want to put it, down at Dundalk, down near that part of the world. It was actually a little bit further up the coast, but you understand what I mean. And the Copeland Islands, at certain times when you look out, the Copeland Islands look as if they are floating on the sea. It's a trick of the eye, it's a mirage type thing, but they look as if they're floating. And that's where he got the inspiration in Gulliver's Travels of the floating islands. It's an actual thing, folks, it's actually there. in a certain light, you can go and see it. And Justin loves reeling that fact off to people. He loves telling people that. He'll tell you, at a drop of a hat, he'll tell you. So now I have told you, you don't have to. So, Justin, I'll maybe mention it on Saturday night when I'm doing this review. When we're doing the show, I'll maybe mention this, and we'll see if he says it. I bet he does. So if you look back, this will come out probably after the show. So look back, and I bet you Justin mentions it. I'll do that as a wee sneaky thing. Now, first thing on the nose, really, really fresh. Really fresh. There's really fresh fruit coming through there. Strawberries. Actually, a little bit of melon. Quite fresh fruit coming through. A little bit of spice. Touch of vanilla. A little bit of pastry. Yeah. And a tiny little bit of mint. Tiny little fresh bit of mint. Wood coming through. Little notes of green wood. But it's all fresh. It's really, really fresh and invigorating. Like a sea breeze, one could say. But yeah, there's definitely little touches of mint coming through there. The fresh wood. Now I have to just read this because it's all double and triple and grain and stuff. So I just want to check. Now it's non-chill filtered. It's the grain element was 12 months in virgin American oak, then 24 months in rechar bourbon. Now that virgin oak, that's going to give you a little bit of spice, a little bit of wood spice coming in through. Then being mellowed out with the rechar bourbon, that's going to give you that vanilla notes and mellowing notes, hitting you with little bits of smooth. I don't like the word smooth, it never really sits well with me, but it's giving you that sort of rounding off, if you like, smoothing off, planing off. That's what I mean by when I say the word smooth, not the normal word, the way it's used by lots of people. It's sort of planing off that American virgin oak spice. Then it's American first fill bourbon. Again, for that that'll be taking out the sweetness, and then the triple distilled Oloroso sherry. If I'm honest, it's a funny Oloroso sherry. But I'm going to say the sherry element isn't very pronounced. It's coming through as giving a little fruit, so a touch of fresh fruit rather than jam. I would be questioning the sherry, but if I'm being honest, I would probably question just the quality of that sherry, but it works quite well overall because it's got that little fresh fruit. This is a summer whiskey. If you think of whiskey in seasons, which I often do, summer whiskey, you can sit down, nice bit of heat, have this, possibly a little bit of a mixer in it, whatever way you want to do it. Justin would be making a cocktail and sticking cherries and stuff in it. That would lend itself quite well to that. Yeah. There's a little spice there that's it's a little bit mixed spice. You know, it's not easy to put your finger just on what that spice is. Little flakes of cinnamon, little flakes of clove, little flakes of mace coming in there too. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's just like a mixed bag of spice. Again, quite light. Interesting notes from the finish there, actually. There's lots of toasted bread there. Yeah, toasted bread on the finish. Finish is quite short. There's no real development. Up front, it's giving you... Up front, it gives you actually almost like a slightly sweetened bread. Yeah, it's kind of like a baked loaf that has elements of sweetness to it. So maybe a little bit of like choux pastry. Yeah, choux pastry, that kind of eclair, cream. Then lots of. It starts off like a type of bread, and then moves back into a different type of bread where you're getting not so much the sweetness, more to do with the caramelized, the toast. Maybe, yeah, it's toasted bread. Nice light loaf, toast it. And again, just at the end of that, you're getting little flickers of mint coming through. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's 30... Just consult what I've wrote down. It's £32 a bottle. So, quite reasonable at that. It's one you can pick up off the shelf and enjoy. And lots of people will enjoy this. It's not complicated. It's not overly worked. It sets in quite well. It's got a sweetness, but not a massive sweetness. And a lot of people like this, actually. So just to let you, they sent me this sample, by the way. Just to clarify, they sent me it. A lot of people like this, and I can totally see why. It's very approachable, very easy to drink. Lots of people who wouldn't necessarily be whiskey fans would probably quite like that. It's pleasant enough. I'm not going to say it's blowing my socks off, but where it's at £32 a bottle, very easy to drink. Yeah, so give it a mark. I'll give it a decent 7 out of 10. Quite a lot of people like this. It's not offensive. Very easy to drink, and on a hot day, on a day where it's nice and a bit of heat about, you'd sit out, enjoy, and you would be very pleasantly taken along for the day. So yeah, try that. Copeland, Merchants Quay, and I must remember to do that with Justin when we're doing the show on Saturday night. So check out our podcast, Irish Whiskey Review. Check out our live show on a Saturday night, 10 p.m, British Standard Time, and make sure you keep up with the review. So remember, subscribe, and if you do like, leave a comment. We do try and get back to most people, and yeah, let us know what you think. So, cheers, all the best.